Well, MLB at Rickwood Field is a gigantic event, and we are all still reeling from the news from last night. What you're looking at is the Hall of Fame plaque of Willie Mays. It's the first time his plaque has been taken out of the halls of Cooperstown and the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols joins us now here in Rickwood. And Albert, good to see you. I've obviously got to get your reaction to the news of last night, losing one of the greatest of all time, Willie Mays.
I'm a great human being. I mean, the time that I was able to spend some time with him it was incredible. So great memories, and what he done for the game. And, at 93, obviously, we feel sad. I think the whole nation is sad, but I think, it's blessed, to be able to live for that long, and then, we are here, celebrating where everything started for him.
So, Albert, I'm sure you spent some time with Willie, being the star that you were, and he's just a people person anyway, but you had to have talked hitting. I'm sure he had to have said something to young Albert Pujols. Did you ever get to talk to hitting with him?
Not much. I think the most time that I spent, besides being just in the field, I think it was 2007 at the All-Star game, that he came in the locker room. But it was just Willie, man. Just every time he walked in, I describe it like when Willie walked into a clubhouse or even in the field, it's like the light brought out. Like when State Musial used to walk into a clubhouse, in St. Louis. It's like, it was just unbelievable. Everybody just stopped doing what they were doing, and showed their respect. And, what an amazing human being, and I'm blessed to have an opportunity to get to know him. And I'm blessed, that in the next couple of days, we get to celebrate his life.
When you think of what he accomplished, and you've got all of his accolades right behind you, his 660 home runs, there are only 5 guys to hit more than the great Willie Mays, who did serve in the military, missed some time in the prime of his career, did play in a cavernous ballpark like Candlestick Park out there in San Francisco, which took a lot of home runs away. But you're one of those 5 guys. Yeah. Willie Mays, one of the greatest players of all time. To think about the history and the fact that I'm looking at your face next to that plaque, it's got to be overwhelming right now.
It is, and I'm blessed. I thank the Lord every day, for my career. When I started playing this game at 5 years old, I never thought that my career was going to end up being what it was. But, to be even mention my name, with this amazing human being and players in the same sentence, that's a blessing for me and I'm honored. And, like I say, it's sad for baseball, what we're going to have to go through, but tonight and tomorrow, we get to celebrate, his legacy, not just what he did off the field, but most important, who he was off the field. That to me was most important.
When you're chasing these numbers and you're coming up on Willie Mays, Albert's going to hit 660. Here's Willie Mays. Did you start looking at his videos and maybe getting even more of a grasp, or talking to maybe Juan Marichal or somebody about Willie?
Not really, but I can tell you that when I hit it, he was the first guy that made that call, and when I passed him. And that means a lot to me.
So he called you?
Of course, yeah.
Wow.
Of course, just to congratulate me, and just to keep telling me, hey, keep it up, keep going. And that means a lot to me, just to hear a call from him. Just the same thing, when Reggie, when I hit the 300 at the World Series, and right after I was done with the interview, I got a call from this strange number, and it's like, "Hey, Albert." I'm like, "Yes, it's Mr. October. Congratulations." So awesome, to me, it's just like I say, these people they open the door for us, the Latin players, to be able to accomplish and to do the things that we did. In the big leagues.
Yeah, when you think about the Negro Leagues, it was black and brown players, Latin players, and I really believe the Negro Leagues kind of made it a international game, because they trained in Latin America. They'd go to Puerto Rico, they go to Cuba, they go to Dominican, they went all over the world playing games, Japan, and so that kind of was an introductory to everybody worldwide. So I'm just curious, when you think about the Negro Leagues, Albert, what comes to mind for you?
Well, for me, it's just what they had to go through, and the pressure, and to make the prize, for us right now. And I can speak, from our Latin guys to Juan Marichal, and all those guys, Roberto Clemente, But I think, what the commissioner and Major League Baseball ended up doing, about their numbers, to be able to activate and count it, with the numbers this year. in the big leagues is pretty special. And I mean, I could imagine, you know, what they had to go through, but I'm telling you, man, this gentleman right here, it touched so many lives, and that's what we're celebrating today.
The fact that we're here and his kind of career started here.
Exactly.
At the age of 17.
Yes.
And,
Pretty amazing.
and his first hit, his first professional hit now is on this field,
Yes.
the Rickwood Field, and now that goes into the official record to add to the over 3,000 his that Willie Mays had. He put up so many incredible stats, and you love numbers. You know all your own numbers. You know a lot of other guys' numbers. This is a guy that hit over 50 homers twice. He had 20 triples in a season once. 20 triples, man. You hit triples, dude.
Yeah.
He led the league in stolen bases 4 consecutive years.
Yes.
12 straight gold gloves in center field. 20 straight all-star appearances. Like, the numbers that he just had, this showmanship that it looked like he didn't care. He accidentally put up numbers in his sleep. He was a numbers machine, Albert.
Pretty amazing. And not to say, I mean, I'm not going to take anything away, but to be able to do it in those field, I mean, you're talking about straight center field, 450,
Yes.
460.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think it was probably easy to hit it inside the park home run back then than hit it over the wall, you know? But it's pretty amazing numbers, man. And like I say, to have my name mentioned in the same sentence with Willie Mays is pretty special.
So, Albert, let me ask you a baseball question in correlation to these numbers. To put those numbers up consistently like that year in, year out, you have to have a serious mental toughness. You put those numbers up year in, year out. How do you do that?
First of all, preparation, health. You have to be healthy. That's as easy as it sounds, but you have to be healthy. How can you stay healthy? Well, you can't control health, but what you can control is getting into your workout room, getting your routine, prepare yourself stronger enough for spring training, and then hope for the best, you know. And then, you know, injury is going to happen. I mean, injury happens to even walking around. So imagine playing a baseball field. So, I think for me it was that, just my routine and my discipline, you know, for 23 years as a professional was pretty amazing. It never changed. Yes, my routine hitting on all that, probably as I got older, I cut it up a little bit. But what I did in the gym and my preparation to get me ready for spring training, and my hope in spring training was always breaking camp healthy, and I did that for 23 years. But it's a lot of things that going, a lot of pressure, but you have to have discipline, you know, in this game to accomplish those numbers and health with that.
It's really hard to find guys that can do it for over 20 years at the level you did it, and the late Willie Mays did it, who we're celebrating on this day and all week here in Birmingham, Alabama. Albert Pujols, thank you so much.